Hi everyone, welcome to my living room. So this is how it's going to be for the foreseeable future as far as bringing you drawing lessons. So I hope that you all, like we are approaching this as a bit of a challenge, a bit of fun to really go forward with our drawing classes together. So it's certainly a challenge for us, so we understand it's going to be a challenge for you guys too, but hopefully I can give you some tips today on how I suggest you go forward, setting up a little drawing station for yourselves at home. Up until now we've been doing a lot of creative drawing out on site, as well as drawing soft furnishings, a whole bunch of ideas there. From week 8 on, we'll be delivering to you the assessment task 2, and things become a little more technical, where we're going to look at orthographical drawing. So for that, when we're at RMIT, we'll use the drawing desks that we haven't shown you guys yet how to spin those around. Those green desks spin around, and they become your little technical drawing stations. So when you don't have those at home to use, what I do is have a piece of MDF board. Now I'm standing at my kitchen bench here, and what I've got in front of me is a piece of MDF board. Looks like that. You can get it from Bunnings. When I looked online today, it's $8.50. They are 600, so 600 by 900 by 6 mils thick. And I've just got it on my kitchen bench. I'll just put the camera down for a minute so you can see. I've got a couple of books set up here, like two books high. So I've only got a little bit of a lean, and I've just put my board on top of that. And then this becomes my drawing, my work surface, and you can see I've done lots of drawings on this. The second thing you're going to need is a T-square. So that is this kind of a thing. Now this one's wooden. You can get them in made from plastic as well. What's good about it is I'll just move the camera a bit so you can see that. I can slide it along the edge here, and this gives me a perfectly horizontal line. I can also flip it up where it's sitting on the top of my board, like so. And then that gives me a beautiful vertical line. So you'll need a T-square. Now, I just saw them in Officeworks a minute ago. They are $19.38 or something like that for a plastic one. So you will need one of those, so you can just put it on the edge of your board and slide it up and down. So that's the other thing you will need. The next thing you're going to need is a set square. So you can also use this for your vertical edge there when you lean it, using this as what we call a paraline up and down, and this one as your vertical line. So this is just a little cheap set square. You can get all sorts of different fandangled ones that are more expensive, but I just like the little cheap one. I've got some masking tape on the back of this, and that just lifts it off the paper a little bit, because you'll notice when we come to using these onto tracing paper, so this kind of tracing pad with this kind of film, that it'll smudge with the Felttip pen. So if you have that masking tape there, and it just lifts it just off the surface of the paper a bit and reduces the smudging. So that's that. You will need a scale rule. So I like these triangular ones. They've kind of got a end like that. You will need one that's 1 to 100, 1 to 50, 1 to 20. They're the kind of standard sizes. When you come to doing details and sections of joinery, for example, you might need to get a different one that is down to scale 1 to 5, 1 to 10, and they're good for details, but for the moment you need one that's got your 1 to 50 and 1 to 100 on. You will also need a beautiful sharp pencil. So I've got a clutch pencil here that I've got my lead into. I don't know if you can see that, but the lead's going in and out. And it's important that you keep it sharp. So this is the sharpener for these clutch pencils. So if I just rest my lead in there, that gets it the right height. Then I stick it in here, hold it firmly at the base here, spin it round, and that's sharpening it. It'll probably have a bit of a black smudge that you can just wipe off before you get it on your paper, but then I've got a beautiful sharp pencil. So because these are technical drawings, we're measuring down to millimeters, so we need that beautiful sharp pencil, and that's the pencil sharpener. You will then also need some Felttip pens going forward. I love this brand, it's called Rotary. I don't know if that's the right way round for you guys, whether you can see that. Yeah, still getting used to the camera. But there's a whole bunch of different brands. You might be able to get a pack like this that has a few different weights in it. So I've got a 0.1, a 0.3 and a 0.5. So my fine, medium and thick pen. Everyone has a different way of holding the pen and different pressure. So some people are more heavy-handed, some people are quite light-handed. So those for you will be specific to you. But yeah, just pop to, Officeworks for those. You can get them from Eckersley's, which is the shop in town. If you're close to the city at all, Eckersley's are great. You're going to need some masking tape. You will also need, or you might need a rubber. You will also need some A3 paper. Voila. There are some other little pieces of equipment that I might leave to showing you later further as we get down the track, including some tracing paper that I showed you before. Whilst at this point, I'm going to show you how to set up your paper so it's nice and straight onto the board, because it's really important that you're keeping your work really straight. That's all. That's the most important thing, I think, with technical drawings. If they get a little bit skew-if, then we're in trouble. So I've got my Paraline or my T-square sitting there. I'm making sure that it's nice and square on at the side. Then I'm just letting my paper rest down into that and taping it on to my board. It's important that you also tape the bottom as well as the top. So then when you're sliding up, it's nice and secure. One other little tip is that when we're coming to, when you come to measure things, that does not look, that's because that's at an angle, good. That's absolutely straight, good. When it comes to measuring, say you're drawing a room, and if you draw a line like so, I don't know if you can see that, I'll do it nice and do it again so it's nice and dark. Hopefully you can see that. And then say I want to measure a room that's 10 meters long. If I've got my line there to begin with, and then I come along and go, okay, so that's where it begins. I'm working at 1 to 50 here. Don't know if you can see that. 1 to 50. I might do a separate video with how to understand scale. But yeah, do your line first and then measure your 10 meters onto it like so. And you just have to put one little mark each side. Then I can go through here. Whoops, that was the camera. Some hazards for rookie presenters here. And so then my room might be, so say it's 10 meters long, say my room is 5 meters wide. I can measure up 5 meters from here. And then I've got my room 5 by 10 meters. So don't sort of, do one mark here and put it in and one mark there. Just do some big lines. It doesn't matter about all these overdrafting areas at the moment, because your first pencil drawing will have little mistakes on it and there'll be overdrafting, and then you come along later and trace over the top. So let's bring you back to me for a minute. So that is the first little video on your materials and equipment and some basic techniques there to get us started. So I look forward to coming to you again. Thanks, guys.